Hello and welcome to LFC Focus. Liverpool won the Merseyside derby by 1-0 on Monday night, giving them 3 more points and moving them up to second in the Premier League table. So I think it's safe to say that it was not a match that was high on quality, nor was it a match that was high on incident. It was pretty dull, it was pretty tepid. There were a few, flashpoints here and there. There was the big Joel Robles save towards the end, and then there was of course the Ross Barkley tackle. But I think we can all agree that the big moment of the match, and the one that will stick in our minds for probably years to come, is that Sadio Mane at the winner at the end that gives Liverpool all 3 points. And while it is a tired cliche to say that these are the games that champions win, we heard all of that after the game against Sunderland, and we've heard it after pretty much every single Chelsea game for the last 2 months or so. I think this was certainly one of the games that if we are to win the league by, say, a point or two, this is one of those games that we're going to look back on at the end of the season and say that that Mane winner is the moment when Liverpool won the Premier League title, effectively. I think one of the star men for Liverpool on Monday night was Ranyard Klavan, in my opinion, just because he looked so composed, especially when coming in for Joel Matip, which is a big set of shoes to fill, because when Lucas did the same, not only was he not an adequate replacement for Matip, he also made Lovren look a lot worse, because as I said in a previous video, Lovren seems to always play as well as his defensive partner. So with Klavan's assured, sensible and quite dominant display actually across the back four, it meant that Lovren also played better and Liverpool looked a lot more defensively solid than they might have done had perhaps, no offence to him, Lucas been playing at centre-back instead. I think that tackle he makes on Lukaku where he clears the ball inside the first 20 minutes or so is such an important moment in the game, because Everton was starting to turn the screw there and they were on top instead of Liverpool, and if they had got the goal then it could have changed the whole course of the game. Daniel Sturridge is another key man from that game for me, just because of the fact that he changed the game in a way that Liverpool's main problem was similar to the problem they had against West Ham, when they were guilty of overplaying the ball quite a lot and just looking for that perfect pass, taking too many touches inside the box and not getting enough shots on. And really they just needed a greedy player to take the ball and have nothing on his mind except shooting. And Sturridge did that. He created this moment out of nothing by making space to shoot, and it does result in the Mane goal. And for me, he probably wins the derby for Liverpool, really. So while I don't think Liverpool should take Divock Origi out for the game against Stoke, because with Felipe Coutinho probably coming back for the game against Man City on New Year's Eve, there's not much point shuffling our team around massively, because if we do bring in Sturridge, he probably will have to go straight out the team again when Coutinho comes back. It is good to have him on the bench and available as an option to change games for Liverpool. So all in all, a good win, a good 3 points for Liverpool, and while Chelsea are looking formidable at the moment, it is pretty much inevitable they will stumble at some point this season. In a later video in maybe 2 or 3 weeks, I will look at the difference between Liverpool and Chelsea a bit closer and look at whether we can catch them. We'll probably have a better idea after the next 2 games, because then each team will have played each team once and we will be halfway through the season. But there's no reason to quash any optimism and be pessimistic about it, because there are still 21 games left to go for the season and 63 points left to fight for. So that's all for today's video. Like I said at the start of the video, there wasn't really much to talk about regarding the Merseyside derby last night, because it was largely a non-event in terms of what happened on the pitch. But I will of course be back on Friday with a Christmas special episode featuring a special guest as we build up to the game against Stoke on the 27th. Bye for now.